What you're about to hear is a paid sponsorship brought to you by BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness? Is something preventing you from achieving your goals? I know a lot of people that are going through a rough time right now for all different reasons, and they don't think they can get through. I've had issues in my life where I didn't know how I was going to overcome certain obstacles. Well, BetterHelp is out there for you. And BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You connect in a safe and private online environment. It's so convenient. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. This is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online. You send a message to your counselor anytime. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting BetterHelp at betterhelp.com/Bob. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Bob. BetterHelp.com/Bob. Thank you. Hey, dear people, it's Bob. It is Bob the Saget here, and this is Bob Saget's Here for You. I think you don't want to listen to this thing if you're under 15, although it's an honest podcast episode with Ms. Pat, and I have fallen in love with her. I thought I met her, but I never had, and I caught up on all of her stuff. Simply, that's one of the beauties of doing this podcast. I get to find out somebody that I know that I find appealing and hilarious and wonderful. Her book, Rabbit, it won the NAACP Award for Outstanding Literary Work. It's by Day Street Books, and it really is incredibly honest and brutal, and how she got through life as a young girl with horrible stuff happening, and found humor and her strength and tenacity. And she's hilarious. She is just, I'm just telling you, I got a fan crush, but also a stand-up syncopado. That's, I believe, Spanish or Italian. You tell me. I don't know nothing. But this new show, the Ms. Pat Show, premieres just in a couple days, August 12th on BET Plus. It's streaming, and it's done. It's produced by Lee Daniels, who was with it from the beginning. Took her 5 years to get the damn thing done. So you want to see this show. I watched the pilot. It's just killer. It's so real. It makes you feel like the shows that you loved, but it's even more real for 2021. So it's the Ms. Pat Show, and it's on BET Plus, and it premieres August 12th. So get on it. Also, the Patdown with Ms. Pat comes out every Tuesday. It's her podcast, and go see her. She's on tour, and what you want to do for that is go to MsPatComedy.com. That's MSPAT comedy.com. That's where you can catch her out, because she lives for stand-up. And you know what that means. When a comic is motivated to do stand-up, you want to see that comedian. And she is talking from her gut, and she is funny as hell. And she's just a positive, wonderful person, as you're about to hear or possibly see. Here is somebody so fucking awesome. Again, 15 and under, I would say don't listen. This is unless you want to learn something, because she's really cool and you don't give a shit about words, because they're just words. Here she is, an amazing person, Ms. Pat. I am so excited to meet you. I thought we met before, but we did not.
Well, I'm a big fan.
Oh,
We're watching this show.
you have no idea, but I watched your pilot last night, and I've known about you forever, because we frequented a lot of the same places, comedy clubs over the years in different places. But that pilot it's a vision. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And the pilot is the hardest thing to make when you're doing a sitcom, I hear.
Did you do the pilot first and then were you pre-sold because you're so top heavy with talent on this thing, right?
No, we didn't do the pilot first. We didn't even have a script. I sold an idea to Fox. So I went through three writers. The third writer was able to nail it for me. So it's been 5 years.
That's what people don't know is how long this shit takes.
It takes a long fucking time.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't stop. And who's the writer that you wrote it with? I just watched it. I should know the name.
His name is Jordan Cooper. So I went through three writers. He was the third one. And, you know, when you're doing a show about somebody, especially a comedian, I learned this, the comedian really needs to drive their voice. Because if not, those writers can take you and make you into anything, a cupcake, a frisbee. You'll never be your original self.
I was a cupcake for 8 years. And then another 6. They love to cupcake me.
Well, you know, I was trying to stay original. I was trying to stay me. I used to tell them I'm not Claire Huxtable. I don't want to be the typical mom. This mom is a convicted felon. She has a background. And like, no. That's not how they want to see black women. I'm like, well, why not? I've been to jail. I used to traffic cocaine. Stop trying to make me out. I don't cook in my real life. The only thing I know how to cook is turn cocaine into crack. This is a Chick-fil-A body. Okay?
Now, you learned that at 15? You were
15.
cooking? Right. And you got 2 kids then and not something you were planning on, right?
No, all I say every night on stage, all I wanted was a Cabbage Patch Kid with a birth certificate. But an old dude.
Those things are fucked up looking though, aren't they? They put those dimples in that round head, that cloth shit. That scared me.
But hey, they was popular back in the early 80s. If you had a Cabbage Patch Kid, that means your mom cared about you. So So I wasn't trying to get pregnant, but I just happened to get pregnant. And, you know, and I'm a teenage mom. Even I talk about it in the show. I wanted to stay true to who I was. And it's the last writer that came along named Jordan Cooper. We had the same idea. And
did the unbelievably brilliant and talented Lee Daniels, was Lee attached from the very beginning?
Oh my God. I think I cried on Lee's shoulder so many nights. Yes, he was attached. He never gave up. And so was Brian Grazer.
Brian Grazer. Mm-hmm. You've got the top of the game, and rightfully so. I watched this show and I went, and I know why Norman Lear, who's 99 right now, he just turned 99, who called you, right? Because this show is envisioned.
Yes, he called me. I'm a fan, and the guy who helped me create it is such a big Norman Lear fan. So when he called, I couldn't believe it. And he watched the pilot, and he was like, "Everything you said I wanted to say in the 70s, but they wouldn't let me."
Exactly.
And he really enjoyed the show, and that meant a lot to us because you know this is my first time, and this is his first show, Jordan E. Cooper first show, and you know we 2 kids in Hollywood really don't know what the fuck we're doing. We just riding on a dream. We're fighting to keep what we want. I mean, it's amazing how people come in and they just twist your idea. No, this is what you want. I'm like, no, this is what I want. I know what works. Do you want originality or you want the same thing? So to see Norman Lear says, you know, you guys did a great job. That meant a lot to the both of us.
Well, I'm telling you, when I see you, I'll put 5 masks on. I'm going to hug the hell out of you because I've fallen in love with you because I knew you were my guest. I was already a fan. I saw you on Joe Rogan, and you're killing me because it's all real. And it all comes from all the pain people go through at about as hard as a life can be. You got dealt it.
Yeah.
And then you found the humor. I mean, you know, your book, Rabbit, I was just telling everybody in the intro that it won the NAACP award for outstanding literary work. And I couldn't read the whole thing, but I went through and, geez, I don't want you to have to tell the same story because you're going to be doing so much press telling the same story. Yeah. But is there a way you can say it without me telling you what you went through?
I said quick, I dealt crack, got shot a few times, teenage mom, went through a lot of shit. But in the end, I'm still smiling. And that's what I try to tell people on stage every night. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. I don't dwell on anything I don't have control over. So what am I laughing at? What I've been through, what I was born into. It's all about going forward. I don't blame nobody for what I went through. I don't blame God for the family that I was born into. I look towards the future. Hey, it's about what am I doing now? Okay, I know what I was dealt, but what am I doing with this now? What I'm doing with it now, I'm living. And I'm living my best life. I mean, I have an 8th grade education, been shy, had 2 kids by a married man. But if you come to my house, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it unless I tell you.
Right. Well, you told everybody.
I try because I want people to laugh. I tell people on Southside, I want you to take the darkest shit.
Right.
And when you can laugh at it, you got control of it. I don't care if it's somebody stuck their thumb up your ass. Laugh at the part that didn't go in. That means they was cheated.
Well, that's why people need manicures. That's the only reason. And you could check the weather, I think, if you hold it up in the wind. You're so fucking funny. Pardon my French, but that's how you just, I tell everybody should see you live. I've been watching everything. And
Thank you.
You're so beautiful of the honesty, but you are, you're a steam engine. You don't stop with the jokes, but you get serious too, which is quite an art.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm up there telling dark stories, and I can't stand when an audience go, "Oh, what are you on for?" You know who you came to see. I don't need, especially with, let's keep it real. I am a black girl, a black woman in America, and black men and men can go through all kind of shit. But when a woman says she been molested, been shot, the audience immediately want to say, "Oh," and I say, "Hey, white people, y'all can't adopt me. I'm doing good. I've got on an $800 goddamn wig. I'm doing good. Look at me, I'm fat as fuck. I eat so much Chick-fil-A, I need to stop." So you can't adopt me. You should have voted Democrat in 82 if you really wanted to help me out, because they didn't want to give away all the free shit. So I have to break my audience down and say, stop it. I don't need your pity. I'm good, because we all been through something. But we all going to sit here and laugh at the bullshit that I've been through and remember the bullshit that you've been through, because you don't have the mic tonight.
I've always said off-color stuff, and not as much, I guess. Well, I still do. And people will boo or they'll moan. I go, you know what? Fuck you. You didn't try to think of something funny. But I'm just trying to bring love to people too. And you are such an example of going through just shit. I'm watching the sitcom, and you said in it that you shot somebody. Now, is that accurate? Because you got a little bit of a...
Yeah, my kid's father shot me in the back of the head, and another guy shot me in the titty. And then after my kid's father shot me in the back of the head, and I feel like, well, he shot me, I need to shoot him back. So I shot him back.
Where'd you shoot him?
In the ankle.
So you didn't want to hurt him.
Yeah. But he shot me in the head. Well, he had so many holes. I was trying to slow him down.
Shooting in the back of the head, did that go into your brain? What the hell?
No, it just cracked my skull.
Just?
Yeah, it just cracked I knew from that day I was crazy as hell. So yeah, when I take off my wig, I got a nice little missing hair back there.
Well, that's something but you're a married woman.
I've been married now for about 28 years. Yeah, I'm married
so there aren't going to be any guys with fetishes out there going, "Oh, I want to check out that hole in the back of the head." They can't. They can't have none of that. Only your husband, right?
No, not my husband either. They ask all the time, because I lost my nipple too. I got shot in the titty.
Right.
If you heard me tell me that story. So that was, "Miss Pat just showed me your nipple. I send you some money." I'm like, no, you clown.
And they're not like starfish. They don't grow back, right?
Well, that one just damaged. No, they don't grow back.
I'm so sorry this happened to you. And you don't want that, but that's how I feel.
I'm great. I'm happy. I could be like everybody else in my family where, I'm down and out and doing drugs and other stuff like that. I tell people I'm happy. Look at me. I got an 8th grade education. My daughter just got her bachelor degree. And I don't even know what the fuck she went to school for, to be honest. Which I ain't even fair to act like the girl, she just keep getting degrees. I said, "Can you stay the fuck out of school?" but she just graduated college for the second time. You know, my whole goal in life was just to see my kids do something that I didn't get to do, which was graduate high school. And I used to tell them, you don't owe me shit but a high school diploma. That's why I'm working so hard. Stay out of jail and a high school diploma. And all of them did it. And, you know, my son is in school for nursing now. I have 3 grandkids, 2 ugly, 1 cute. You know, I'm happy.
Do you have pictures? Can you hold up pictures of the ugly ones?
I'm gonna have to find him on.
No, I don't want to do that to you. No, that'd be rude. That'd be rude. I was sorry.
He's my favorite one too. He's so damn bad.
Right.
He looked just like his daddy when he was born. I used to tell people when my son was born, he was so ugly. And I think it's because I sold crack and he picked up the faces from the crackhead. So I would keep a blanket in his face. And people like, what's that? I said, oh, he Muslim. So till he was about 3 years old, I kept a blanket in his face because he was so, probably 2. Because he was in a stroller. He was so ugly. He had real big eyes. He looked like he smoked dope. And he had real tight hair. And it started back here behind his ears. So he was not cute at all.
Did he grow?
He had to grow into his forehead. He had to grow into his eyes. And he looked a lot better now.
He's a good looking kid now, right?
Yeah, but I think he looked like a lot of the people I sold crack to, a mixture.
Now, there wasn't crack in his blood system when he was born. Was that in his DNA?
No, I didn't do drugs.
Because you didn't do drugs.
No, but I think the crackheads rubbed off on me because I served so many of them, you know, and so I think he just took on one, I guess, the ugliest crackhead. Maybe somebody came through there with big eyes one night and bam, that's what my baby came out looking like. But I kept a blanket in his face for a long time.
Now, when you're doing your stand-up on tour, do you got this thing with crack babies, right? You riff on it, right? Or was that just on Joe Rogan that you went nutty nuts? It was so great.
Well, I call my fan base my crack babies.
Okay.
But actually I have custody of my niece 4 kids, and I call them my crack babies. This is my 3rd set of kids I've raised because the parents was on crack. So I just call them crack babies, and somehow crack babies spilled over into my fan base on Facebook. So the whole Facebook page is Miss Pat Crack Baby. So if you're a fan, if you're a real down hard fan, you consider the crack baby. But I've raised 3 sets of crack babies. I have 4 kids at the house now who was my niece kids, and I took custody 7 years ago.
So you had the 2 when you were 15 and then 4 more starting at 17, right?
Yeah, those were my sister kids. But before I got those, when I was selling drugs, I had a sister-in-law that was on drugs. So I had her 2 kids. I had her 3 girls. So when I got her 3 girls, I raised them and we all close in age. And then I got my custody of my sister 4 kids. And then that's when I got married. So I take on those 2 of those girls and my sister 4 kids into a relationship I started with my husband. But they was almost grown. But the babies, my sister kids was like 8 months was the youngest baby.
So you got 10 kids? It's 8
Not
kids.
anymore. They're all grown now. I just got 4.
Got
I have 4 now.
So your husband must be a saint.
They say he is.
So the show is so true. It is. I'm just telling you. It has the resonance of all the shows that Norman Lear made. It has the beginnings of what Roseanne wanted to do, her trailer park life, but it has a reality to it that we haven't seen. Now, how do you get that language passed on BET? How is this happening?
Well, it's on the streaming. It's on BET Plus, and the language was when we was originally on Fox, and when the new writer came in, he was like, y'all, she would be so much better on streaming. So they was like, let's move her to streaming where she can be real. And so that's how Hulu shot the pilot, because Hulu picked it up from Fox and shot the pilot when we wanted to put it on streaming.
See, I see this, but I just see BET. I didn't see there's a plus right there. I never noticed. Plus. That's so damn cool. That's the future. The future is you find what you want to watch. I cannot recommend this show highly. Did you cry when you finished shooting it, when you and then when you watched it, did it hit you deep?
It still haven't hit me. You know, to me, my life has always been such a fast pace. it's like work, and people like, oh my God, are you gonna take time to celebrate? I was like, hey, that's done. I gotta work on the next thing. I gotta work on the next thing. I gotta work on the next thing. So, I don't get caught up in the hype, because the one thing about TV, and we're both comedian, once you shoot it and you do it, it's not yours. Your name is on it, but that's that network shit. That ain't this say the Miss Pat show, but Miss Pat don't own that shit. I own what I do on stage. That's what I can control. I can't control. If they don't want to use a picture that I like, they don't have to use that picture because they spend all that money.
Yeah, so, that's simple renegotiation. 4 years from now, this is going to be a different conversation, because my prediction, and I'm knocking on wood, even though I'm not that superstitious, because I think, your talent and what you've been through and how funny you are. I'm telling you, you'll be able to say, I want, 90% of my pictures. I want to be able to approve, and you'll be an owner, and everybody's just going to go, what the hell? Lee and Brian will do whatever.
Well, this is my first season too. So, they gave us a lot of control, but in reality, when they say, we're not picking you back up, when they're not picking me back up. So that's what I mean by this is their shit. I control what's on stage. So that's what I focus on, making as best as I can. I leave from shooting, I go straight to the stage, because when TV and all of that other shit and you ain't hot no more, I'm gonna always be a comedian, and we can always come back to being a comedian.
We speak the same language, and I'm on tour now more than ever, with more to say than ever, because of what we've gone through. And so you had to shoot during the whole shutdown, right?
COVID, yeah, we had to shoot. Oh, it was so damn hot. We had an audience, but they were called extras. But you couldn't have as many as you would. Like with the pilot, we was in front of 250 people in LA. We shot here in Atlanta, and I think the most we could have is 30, 40 people, and they was considered extras. So you had to pay them to come in, and it helped out a lot since it's been a single cam. Mm-hmm. A multicam, it helped out a lot because I'm a comedian. So it drives, comedy drives us, laughter make us move a certain type of way. But it was hard during COVID. It really was.
Do you do it? It looks to me like you do it in the old Norman Lear style. You do it like a play, and then you go back for pickups for stuff you need.
Exactly. Because the guy who co-wrote it, he's a playwright. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's a playwright.
That's what Sanford and Son, that's what All in the Family, that's what the Jeffersons. I went and saw them when I was a teenager. I saw them getting made.
Really?
Really. And they would do 2 All in the Families back to back, 90 minutes an episode. I stayed one night to watch it twice to see how they do it. I wasn't going to be a comedian or anything, but it's so great the way it's done. It feels it's just kind of a perfect show. This thing, everybody needs to watch this show and fall in love with it, because you deserve to have like an 8-9 year run out of this thing. I fucking love it. I'm not blowing smoke, because I don't know where to blow it anymore.
Well, and one of the things we talk about, I know you only saw the pilot, but we really touch on real conversation and real issues, because I really did move from a middle class Black neighborhood to all white neighborhood. And I had never lived around white people like that before. And it was a culture shock for me. So that's why you see a lot of the stuff in the pilot, white people bringing over items. We don't do that shit in Black neighborhood. I tell people, I say the rule to a Black neighborhood, you show up with a cake, you trying to fuck my husband, bitch. What are you doing with this cake?
And that was shitty cake. Oh, I don't want to spoiler alert the whole pilot, but that wasn't a cake.
No, we switched it to another item that another white lady brought me that I thought was more funny, but she actually knocked on my door with a cake and was like, I hope you're happy. And that's why in the pilot you hear my daughter say, oh, she just don't want you to break in their house, because I called my Black girlfriend who already lived in a white neighborhood for years. And I was like, this bitch brought me a cake. And she's like, girl, she just don't want you to break in our house. Eat it. It's going to be good. And it was so fucking good.
This is why a show's so fucking good, because it's all based on I knew that stuff that you were saying came out of your mouth in your life.
Well, the whole first season is an album called Rabbit Out There. And I was really blown away how he could just take what I created as comedy and just threw it into dialogue, and we turned them into episodes. I have a gay daughter, and we did the whole coming out gay from what I thought, how I really felt when I, because I've been to prison. How I really felt when my daughter came out and was gay. I was ignorant as hell. And so it shows that, but through the episodes, it also show you how I grow because how I love my child, no matter what she chooses to do with her mouth.
How old is she now?
She's 34.
And you love her to death, right?
Oh, I told her, I said, if you eat it like a real daddy do, you are a hero.
Eat it like it real. Because that would mean you don't want non-real. I have to say pussy. I mean, that's the right word. That's not
that's the
offensive.
Right word.
Right.
Not to me.
Thank you. Because I've been in so much trouble over the years.
I tell people, I said, if words offend you, then like they posted me on Netflix and I talked about how my granddaughter said, Grandmama, my mama said, you get on her motherfucking nerve. I said, well, your mama get on my motherfucking nerve. That's why my son ain't gonna marry your mama. But that was the conversation between me and my granddaughter. What type of grandmama you? I was like, bitch, what type of grandma are you? You probably take frozen cucumbers in your ass. Am I judging you? I'm judging you.
Why do they have to be frozen? Don't they just have to be not ripe?
Oh, no, they'll break off if they ain't frozen.
The fact that you know that. Does that mean, I don't want to get personal, but
I ain't never used no cucumber, okay?
Frozen cucumber, yeah, I didn't think. I mean, I
sat around a black beauty salon and I hear them talk.
You do mention cucumbers in the pilot too, I believe. Is there a beauty rest type of moment? Is there some kind of treatment or something? Do you mention cucumbers or am I dreaming?
No, I mentioned Chick-fil-A in the pilot.
Okay. Damn. Thought I was right with something. Everybody is so good in the cast.
That's what, when we was casting, because I had never acted before. And
that's the other thing. Your acting is fucking great.
Well, Fox sent me to acting private lessons for 2 years on top of Debbie Allen, Jordan Cooper, and the whole producing team. They really put a good cast around me. Mm-hmm. And that cast was able to lift me up. I never once felt like they was out acting me. I just felt like we was a family. There was never no competition between any of us. Again, I just felt like we was a family. And if I didn't do something right, I'm the type of person I want to learn. I didn't have a problem with them coming over, helping me. And I used to tell them, hey, I'm the star of this show. But at the end of the day, this is all of our show. And we all got to make it work together. Fuck with that call sheet come first. I don't care about who first on the call sheet. I give a fuck if my check clear. Y'all can take these titles and stick them in y'all ass, okay? To me, I'm just like y'all.
And
that's why got my name on it.
That's the ensemble. That's what's so great. Your husband is great. I won't give away the whole callback punchline blow, they call it, or whatever, for the end of the show. I can't reveal it because it has to do with a thing that was posted on Snapchat. I can't give it away, but it's hilarious. It's just pure comedy.
Thank you.
And you got the A-team. I mean, Lee Daniels has directed some of the best movies, produced some of the greatest movies and shows. And Brian Grazer is just, talk about smart and just gets it. And then you got Debbie Allen shooting the thing. Did she direct a lot of them?
No, she was going to until COVID hit, because she's on Grey's Anatomy. But right. I remember when they called the guy who created the show with me, they call him the Dreamer, because he's 25 years old and he asked for shit. I'd be like, dude, this your first year. Calm the fuck down. But, my third grade teacher always said that the dumbest question is the question not asked. And you see it in this kid because he asked for anything. And we at Lee Daniels House when they're trying to think of who can direct. He said, well, Lee, what do you think about Debbie Allen? I was like, Debbie Allen? Debbie Allen gonna direct this shit? We cussing in it? And he was like, well, let's just ask. And Lee gave her the pilot and she called back while we were still sitting. She said, I want to direct this shit. And literally, you have to interview everybody for a directing job, but I'm big on picking up on spirits. Your spirit let me know how honest you is and if you faking it. If your spirit rocks me, I get the fuck on. So me and him jumped in on a plane, flew to Atlanta while she was shooting a movie with Dolly Parton. Nobody knew, and we met Debbie Allen. And I walked away and I said, that's the director. And she came in there. She picked the color scheme. She just made it Black. She made it African American. She chose the right items, the right arts. You know, she just made it feel home.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally dropped this Black family in this all-white conservative neighborhood. And you can't tell until the doorbell rings.
No. Well, they mentioned it a little bit, but I didn't realize it. And it's so, I mean, I can't wait to watch this whole thing. How many have you shot? How many did you do?
It was 10 episodes.
It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm just congratulations on making it and doing it the right way, and you being the lead and figuring out how to do it. You already are. This show should never go off the air. This thing is just beautiful.
Thank you. You know, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to show a real family with real issues. If you think, I can't wait till they see the finale. Oh my God, I cannot wait. I don't think they ever shot a finale like this on a comedy. There was times when we was shooting and we was writing, I would ask the guy who created, I was like, dude, is this a comedy or a dramedy? Because in the finale, people was boo-hooing their eyeballs out.
Mm-hmm.
They were so touched by the moment, but I was able to pull from it because it actually happened to me. This show is 95% true to what I've been through in like each and every episode.
So it came out of Rabbit, your book, the kind of.
No, it came out of life too. Like it came out of life. Yeah.
So like you were saying before, that Rabbit was kind of a template for it, but not really. You're saying it's all of it. It's stuff you talk about in stand-up, but it's other stuff you never even talked about before. Is that correct?
Yes, other stuff I never even talk about. You know, like here I have a sister on the show with a recovering drug addict. My sister in real life, she ain't recovering, but she definitely a drug addict.
Oh. I had two sisters.
She get up every Sunday and lead the choir at church.
Still?
I think she does.
Depends on the Saturday. Well, I wish her good health.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. See, to be able to laugh through this shit while it's going on, while you're living it. I lost two sisters, one to a disease and the other had mental issues and some drug stuff, but that was the time. That was the 60s. And it's, you never forget any of it, but you got to move on and to find the positive, to do what you do. That's why I do comedy. That's why it helps me. You going up, like you're about to go into Raleigh. Is that where you're going?
Mm-hmm, going to Raleigh.
When do you go there? Because this is
Thursday, July 29th. I'll probably, by the time
you'll have been there. Yeah, this is on August 9th, whatever that Monday is. I'm right before your show airs.
I'm in Minnesota. I think I'm in Minnesota that week.
And to do that, all they got to do is go to MsPatComedy.com, MsPatComedy.com. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm. MsPatComedy.com.
How'd you come up with Ms? How'd you do that? Because sometimes people don't like Ms anymore. And, nobody likes nothing.
No, they don't like shit. And you know what I was just telling my friend today? I said, the guy, when the trailer dropped, and he was like, oh my God, people saying ugly things. I said, dude, look at life like this. Jesus Christ walked this earth with a pair of slippers on, and they killed him and took his shoes. So what are you complaining about? They took that man's shoes. I said, that was the only item he was missing when he was on the cross. So what are you complaining about? He couldn't even please him. And he came here in peace. I'm not coming to save y'all. So what I say is fuck him. So yeah. I came up with the name Miss Pat because I was a drug dealer and I didn't want to be called Rabbit. And I used to work, and the kids in my neighborhood would call me Miss Pat. So I was like, I need a stage name and I don't want to be called Rabbit, and Patricia is too old. So the kids, my daughter's like, won't you say Miss Pat? That's what everybody call you in the neighborhood. So I just said, my name is Miss Pat.
I just kept Bob.
Hey.
It works. I'll turn my head to that word. What you're about to hear is a paid sponsorship brought to you by BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness? Is something preventing you from achieving your goals? I know a lot of people that are going through a rough time right now for all different reasons, and they don't think they can get through. I've had issues in my life where I didn't know how I was going to overcome certain obstacles. Well, BetterHelp is out there for you. And BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You connect in a safe and private online environment. It's so convenient. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. This is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online. You send a message to your counselor anytime. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. It's more affordable than traditional counseling, and financial aid is available. The service is available for clients worldwide. Find the particular expertise you need online. Don't limit yourself to the counselors located near you. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting BetterHelp at betterhelp.com/Bob. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Bob. BetterHelp.com/Bob. Thank you. So you're just waiting now. Are you doing tons of press? Because this is it. This is the launch.
Yep, this is a launch. I'm getting ready to do ton of press. Yes, I am. And I'm excited too. You know, I can't wait to see what the world thinks of a mom that's not perfect, that's not chopping vegetables. You see the dad cooking all the time in this show because everybody hate my cooking. You see the dad take on household roles while a woman is out here trying to follow her dreams. And you don't really see that. You know, usually the woman is holding down the household. Not me. This man got it. He gonna clean, he gonna cook, and he's still gonna support me 100% as I'm flying in and out of town making $50.
Do you plan well, I don't want to give it away, but I assume in the years to come, her career does pretty well.
Her career, if BT Plus give me a third or fourth season, her career would take off like my real career took off.
Yeah. So this is so cool because you got a show coming out. Some people would just stay home and just be drinking champagne and tell people what to do. You are just doing what comics do. You're just out on tour literally right now. While the thing,
I gotta go to work. You see this wig on my head? This shit ain't free, Bob.
It's really $8,000.
No, it's about $400. $8,000. I ain't got no Beyonce hair now. No, ain't nobody held nobody down and cut the hair off their head. This shit came in the mail.
It looks. How do you do that? Does it? You tell them the size?
No, she just make it. It's a lace. It's a closure, and she just makes it, and she glue it down to my head. See.
So how long will you keep that on? You get as long as you want.
No, I just put some water right here and snatch this bitch up, and I look like you while I'm going to bed.
I've never heard hair called a bitch. I'm going to switch it out.
Yeah, just take it off. It's hot. So I don't want all this on me when I'm trying to sleep at night.
Right. So when you have like an anniversary, do you get all dolled up? Do you change it out to a different hair? You
change it out all the time, but anniversary, you've been with somebody that long, you ain't trying to get no excitement. You trying to take your ass to sleep. I'm 49 years old.
How old?
49.
No way.
Yes, I'm 49.
Oh, God in heaven.
I tell people I got 4 kids, 2 abortions, and 3 grandkids. I'm a grown ass woman.
So when you were young, were you close? Forgive me for not going through Rabbit fully.
It's okay.
Your mom, but obviously your dad was a real problem, right?
My dad was not in my life. My life. My mama divorced when I was a baby because I'm the youngest child. They divorced, so I didn't get to meet him till I was like 11. He just showed up out of nowhere.
Did he just want to meet you?
No, he came over that day. My mama called him over and she called him because she said my sister was being disrespectful, but he hadn't seen us since we were kids. And he walked in the house and he was supposed to hit my sister, but he hit me. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And so me and my brother whooped his ass. because he didn't introduce himself, and I didn't know he was supposed to be my daddy. I just know this big black man just knocked the hell out of me, and I need to fight back. So we beat the dog shit out of my daddy. And while we was beating him up, he was like, "I'm your daddy." I said, "Well, let us know next time."
I mean, he could have opened with that.
They probably would have saved him from getting his ass beat.
That is
but
so.
After that,
did he come back after that?
Yes, we started to build a relationship. He took me to Florida to meet my aunts that I had never met. I met a grandmother that I didn't even know I had. And I remember we riding down 75 and I think we're on our way to Florida. He said, "I know you heard all the things that your mama said about me." And I said, "Stop." I said, I'm willing to start over. I don't take you for what nobody else say about you. I take you for the relationship that we build. And we built a great relationship. I actually moved him to Indianapolis. He had cancer, he died. And I never forget the look on his face when he knew he was dying, because he stayed with me for about 7 years. Because I just tuck him in and started taking care of him like I do every damn body. And he was like, "I just want to say thank you." And I said, "You don't owe me nothing. I appreciate the years that I got to know you from 12 to now." And it was fun. I was like, I don't want to talk about what my mama said about you. I want to get to know you for who you are. And I did.
How did you know that at 12? I'm sorry, I cut you off. He came and you were going to say?
Well, when he came back after the fight, he disappeared for about a year or two, and then he came back, and I'm a drug dealer. And then, he needed help, and I bought him a car, and I just started helping him out, getting to know him. And then he told me, he said, "You got a grandmama?" And I'm like, "I do." And he took me to Alabama. I got to meet my grandmama before she passed. And then I went to go meet my aunt in Florida, which is his sister, which I still talk to almost every other day. All of these cousins I didn't know I had. And I just built a relationship with him. And I got to know a family that I didn't even know I had. And, he passed away of, I forgot what type of cancer he had, but I was always there for him. I moved him from Atlanta. He lost his leg. So I moved him from Atlanta to Indiana. And I never forget.
Did you find his leg at that point?
I just threw his leg away about a month ago. It was in my garage.
The fake leg?
Because they wouldn't take it.
I don't want to call it a fake leg. That's not nice. The prosthetic?
Yeah, they wouldn't take it. I wanted to bury him in it. And the guy was like, "Why would you want to bury him in it?" I said, "Well, he said he's going to walk with Jesus, and you don't want to leave all these inches behind." But I got to know him, and I'm happy. And I just told him, I said, "You don't owe me anything. I just want to thank you for coming back. And, I enjoyed you. And, I'm his youngest child, and I know he thought I was going to reject him. But you don't owe me anything." I look at life like this, Bob. Everybody makes mistakes. But to me, everybody deserves a second chance, except for child molester and killers. Yeah. But other than that, simple mistakes, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to say the wrong shit. Mm-hmm. Why cancel somebody's whole life because they said something that you don't agree with?
20 years ago.
Yeah. I was on a plane one day. Coming back I was on Southwest, and I'm talking to this older white gentleman, and he's like, "Oh, I'm such a fan. I love you on Bob and Tom, Miss Pat." And so he posted a picture of me, and people like, "How can you talk to Miss Pat? She's so liberal." And he went on Facebook. He said, "Well, she was nice to me. I just don't get the colors." So it rubbed me the wrong way. But I had to also think, they was like, "He's racist." And I said, "No, he's not." I said, "That man's 70-some years old. This is what he used to saying, and nobody corrected him." Mm-hmm. So I went in his inbox and I said, "When you call me colored, it hurts my feelings." I said, "I would never call you whitey unless I'm on stage, but I wouldn't just identify you as whitey." And he was like, "I'm so sorry, Miss Pat." But it's just shit. To me, that's not racism. Racist. That's correcting somebody who used to doing shit a certain type of way, and nobody has ever corrected them.
It's ignorance, and it's not wanting to be able to change. It's not.
Well, I don't think he would do it again. I mean,
no, you teach a lot of people a lot of stuff. I mean, I know people, and you know people, that if their dad had done to them what yours did to you, that young girl would not want that man ever in her life again. And look what you did. How did you get that fire burning in you that could forgive him and want to restart? Who influenced you? Is there a family member?
It was a third or fourth grade teacher. Her name was Miss True. And, you know, she was the lady when we was so poor, I would go to school and get picked on. And she would literally, back when teachers could do these things, she would take me to the bathroom. She would give me a bath and change my clothes and brush my teeth and comb my hair to keep the kids from picking at me. So she put that fire inside of me. She told me, she said, you could be anything in the world you want to be. All you got to do is dream. And that's one of the biggest problems I've had in my relationship. My husband was like, you so spontaneous. I said, no, Miss Troop said I could be any fucking thing I want to be. And I'm 49 years old and I still quote Miss Troop. And she's all in the book. She got a whole chapter. And I said, when I'm down and out, I said, Miss Troop said I can do this. I don't go to nobody but Miss True, because I'll never forget the days that she kept a little gym bag by her desk. And she said, just get here early. And she always had me food because she know my life at the house was fucked up. And she would give me a bath. She would brush my teeth. She would comb my hair. And at the end of the day, she would put me back on them clothes, or she'll let me go home. And the next day the clothes would come back clean.
She was amazing. She loved you.
She lit that fire inside of me.
But she saw the fire inside of you. That's why she did that.
And I'm 49 and she's always been able to keep that fire burning inside of me. So that's what inspired me. And I tell people, I've always told my kids, there's not a such thing as I can't. You're being lazy. Don't say I can't. Because when you say I can't, you're putting barriers up on yourself. I say, if somebody's saying no, go make sure you go all the way to that last no. Because you just don't know. You might get a yes. I mean, look at this show. It took 5 years. When Hulu picked up this show and shot this pilot, everybody was jumping, oh my God. And I was like, I'm not going to say anything until it hit the air. And when they dropped it, it didn't hurt my feelings. I never forget, they dropped it Valentine's Day. And Lee Daniel called me and said, I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I'm headed back now, sold out show. And he said, I'm so sorry Hulu didn't pick it up. He said, but I'm going to work really hard to get it picked up. And I said, you will. I said, but hey, I got 300 people out here need to laugh. I got to call you back.
Exactly. That's exactly what everybody should be able to say to themselves, but they don't have 300 people waiting for them. Us comics do. We're very, very lucky.
Yes, we are.
We really are. And that audience, you're onto something new too, because you've been funny. Okay, stand up. So how in the hell did you, and everybody's going to ask you all the same questions, but I know how we start. How the hell did you get on stage? Did you talk at a school thing first, or what the hell was it?
It was just me. I've always been very outspoken, saying some crazy shit, and people just laugh at me. But I never considered myself to be funny. I always considered myself to be honest, and I said what the hell is on my mind.
Right.
It really came from a caseworker when I voted for the lovely Bill Clinton, because he was the sexiest thing on the menu that year. That's how I became a Democrat. I was like, woo, he's a cute white man. I'm voting for him. And Bob Dole was ugly as fuck, and I couldn't do Bob Dole.
You'd have put a blanket over his head if he was in a stroller.
And so he started a program called the Welfare to Work program, and a caseworker. I would just tell her these horrible stories to get more food stamps, for her to feel sorry for me. And she was Black, and she laughed her ass off. And I was like, you gonna laugh? I just told you my granddaddy hung me for stealing food stamps. And tears would be rolling out of this Black lady eyes. Y'all got home. I'm like, yeah. And she was like, you should really try stand up. And
How old were you?
I think I was 20. I didn't even have no kids. No, I had my kids. I probably was 25.
Wow, that's a little bit late.
Yeah, it was really late. So 25, 26. I probably was 28. I don't know. But
what was your job before? Well, you were a full-time mom, right?
No, I worked at Walmart. I was headed nowhere. McDonald's. And then I ended up getting at General Motors. And my husband was there too. And General Motors started to come into play with, I couldn't do stand-up because I worked the night shift. And I kept telling my husband, it's something here with this stand-up. And he's like, no, you making $30 an hour and I'm making $30. We could really make it. I'm like, this ain't me. So I quit and he lost it. But I just believed in myself. And he was like, nobody's going to listen to them chicken house joke. You left this good job. And I said, well, one day I'll be making more money than you. And look where we at today.
And this is the husband that stayed with you all this time.
Mm-hmm.
And
but he's my husband. He followed the rules, Bob. He's not going to go outside. He don't want to be the supervisor. He just go to work. I'm not going to say he a people pleaser, but he don't break the rules. He ain't never had a traffic ticket. He ain't going to just go out and try nothing new. He don't gamble with his money. Shit, I'll get on my knees and shoot crap with anybody.
I don't know. What I love about you so much is it's the key to all comedy anyway. It's the truth. And it's strength, and it's having a smile on your face at the times where the world is just fucked. It's like when you look around and you make that comment right when fucking bombs are dropping around you. It's just what keeps us alive.
It's comedy has saved my life because I tell people all the time, I could be somewhere, I've been molested by my mama boyfriend. I've been let down by so many people in life. What am I going to cry for? It's so much easier to smile than have a frown on my face. Now, I get crazy sometimes, but do I like to laugh? Like, if you come to my house, we talk about each other. And if the first time you come, you're like, what's the fuck wrong with these people? Well, we talk about each other. Your fat ass over there and your bald head ass over there, but we love each other. We do. We really do. My kids, they run me out of the kitchen because they say I'm the horrible fucking cook. I have a daughter who's 20-something years old. We tease her all the time about being a virgin. I'm like, dick is delicious. I don't know what you're waiting on.
How old is she?
She's 22, 23, something like that. That's the one with all them damn college education. I told her, that way you can't get no dick. You be reading too much.
Maybe she could meet a guy in the library.
She ain't going to no goddamn library.
So you live in Indianapolis?
Yeah, and that daughter who I just told you got a college degree, she wrote episode for you guys.
Holy shit.
She's funny. She could do stand-up, but she is me all the way. But maybe a little smarter. She is me all the way.
And she is represented in the show. She is that young girl that you're throwing little oranges at.
No, the boy. I threw the oranges at the boy.
You gave the girl a shot. I'm giving a spoiler
I threw
alert.
it at her too.
No, I watched it twice. I know what's up.
Yeah, I did. I sure did. I threw it at her too.
So she represents that daughter? Or
she represents that daughter.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm in Indianapolis, would I be invited over?
Fuck yeah, but my daughter would love you. She loves sitcoms. My God, she probably fall on the floor if you walked in our house.
Well, I would just want to laugh with you. I need to hug you because I've been watching all things Ms. Pat, and I mean there are people that are funny that I love that have gone through similar circumstances, or they are ladies, comedians, but I've never seen anyone like you before. Never. It's a combination of love and energy and it reminds me of I'm not name dropping, but I can't help it because he's the king of all comedians is Richard. And
I get that a lot.
And you have to. And, and Tiffany Haddish, who I've known since she lived in her car trying to get spots at the Laugh Factory, she wanted to be Richard. And Richard would get on stage and talk about shit, but you're the closest comedian that I've heard talk about stuff like him. There's a couple of comedians. I'm trying to think of who, but if Mitch Hedberg had not died, maybe he would have talked about being on heroin at some point. But which usually has to come when you're in recovery, not sadly being gone. But you are able to, Richard, raised in a whorehouse and talked about his mom and talked about all the mob people he met. And you're just so honest. It fills my heart and it inspires me.
Well, thank you. And that's, at first I didn't want to be honest. I was kind of ashamed to be an 8th grade dropout. with a GED, I have 2 kids. And then I said, well, what the hell? And when I started to tell these stories, I realized there was so many people out there like me. I never forget, I was in Chicago one time and this white lady come up to me and she had the biggest fucking diamond ring and I know it was real. And I looked over there and her man, he had an ascot in the pile. I was like, oh my God, these white people got so much money. Because ascot represent money.
Or it's covering up a bunch of turkey neck.
So she come up to me and she whispered in my ear, she said, I too had my babies at 14. And I was like, what? Not you, bitch. And it really made me realize that it's not a Black story. It's an American story. Yeah. Because this shit happened to people, no matter what color you are, no matter what your income bracket is. That's what's good about this TV show, about this sitcom. You can come into this family and somewhere you're going to be able to relate. Whether I remind you, your aunt, your mama, your cousin, or one of these family members should be able to grab you and you say, oh my God, that reminds me of this. And those are we did, like I said, we did an episode on being gay, just how ignorant I was as a gay parent. Because parents, you don't want your child to be gay. You don't even know what to say. I remember when the first time my daughter got her heart broke, I'm like, well, what the fuck what the fuck do I say to my gay daughter? Go back and get the bitch when I don't even want her to be gay. But then I had to realize it is what makes her happy. So, right. But I had to learn that because I had never seen anybody deal with a gay child before. And so, like me and my daughter had a conversation one day and I was like, why you gotta be a bulldyker? And she said, first of all, you should never use the word bulldyker. And right. I said, why? She said, that's like a white person call you the N-word. I said, how you gonna compare bulldyker to N-word? She said, that's how we look at it. Mm-hmm. And I had never been told that. I'm 49. That's what I grew up saying. So with this gay child, she was able to open my eyes to so much. To how they felt, what their world was. And it made me realize that, you can't judge people on their sexuality. And I wrote a bit one time that said, one of the things I learned from being a gay parent is, what a lot of time God would put shit in your life that you don't like to open your mind. Cause I hated gay women because I've been to prison. I said, so I'm here to tell you, white men, if you don't like niggas, your daughter gonna come home with a big dick nigga. Mm-hmm. And that's how it always works. And it's true, because I hated gay women. I could do gay men, but I could not do gay women. And my daughter came out gay, and I realized how stupid I was.
But that's how you're open to learn. And that's how you're able to let your dad back in your life. You didn't have to do any of that. But if we don't keep our minds open to letting ourselves change, we're fucked as a human race.
And, I also did an episode on him, them, and their, and her. I don't even know what they're called. I just know him, their, and her. So my daughter, Gariana, the youngest girl, she shows up with one of these kids at my house. And we went through this whole thing, and it's a funny episode, but it's such a teaching episode because it happened to me. And I'm like, him, them, there, her, what the hell? But it is so funny. But it also, we did the episode. I really wanted to do the episode because I wanted people to realize how people feel about titles and things and just to open their minds. Mm-hmm. It opened my fucking mind when I did this episode, when I had this whole encounter with this kid at my house. Said, I'm not a he, I'm not a she. And I'm like, I'm looking at you. You got fucking hair on your chin. What do you mean you're not a he? But I went through this whole thing and it was a teaching and learning moment for me. And when we got picked up, I was like, that's the episode I really want to do. And my daughter wrote that episode because she brought that situation into our household and she killed it.
That's so amazing. You must be so proud.
I am. I tell her all the time, I say, you are really a good writer. She knows structure. Hell, she can spell better than me, but she's so funny. And she just, what's so crazy, she's such a daddy's girl, but I could just see us creating so much together because we're both so funny together. And she know TV. But when I tell you she's watched every episode, everything, she can tell you what joke was in a show. Don't do that. I saw that on this show. How the hell you see that on that show?
Right.
She would tell me, that was on Family Matter. That was on this show. And she don't just watch black. She watch everything from movies to TV. She studied TV.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
So were you watching stuff while you were doing all this work and all the jobs that you had, McDonald's and the car world, auto world? Were you watching all TV shows and sitcoms and stuff?
No, but I remember one of the guys that I brought back to write on my show named Tom Simmons. And when I first met him, I don't know if you ever heard of Tom Simmons, but he was playing the Uptown Comedy Club one night. And I kind of rescued him because he had a joke that offended some people. I said, come on over here, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. I beat up everybody for you. And so I'm an arrogant young comedian. I said, I'm gonna get my own sitcom one day. And he looked at me and said, that's what everybody say.
Right.
And 20 years later, and he said, I never forgot that shit. He said, that was the first thing out of your mouth. I'm gonna get a sitcom one day. I believe this, Bob. When you put it out there, there's a way for it to come back, but you got to put it out there because when you speak it, you believe it.
And you can't just say it once. You have to live it.
You have to live it. And I always say, I'm going to get a sitcom. I'm going to get a sitcom. And when we went through 3 writers and I was getting discouraged, and when I got the 3rd writer, I said, if you would just listen to me, I got this idea. That whole segment on the plane, when it first come on, speaking to that, that's true. I did that on Southwest. I blocked the seats off and just for white people, because I wanted to talk about uncomfortable shit that was going on in America. And I would get a white victim. I would say, black people, you can't sit right here. Because I was A+ on Southwest. And that seat was reserved for a white person, whether it was a woman or a man. As soon as I saw my victim, hey, you can sit right here with me. How you doing today? And that plane take off. So what you think about the shit that just happened? We started talking. And that's how we was able to write that, because I had that in me, but nobody would listen to me but this young kid who came along and wrote the episode. And I was like, I just think this is just so unique. When that kid, now I didn't come up with the plane and all of that. I thought he was crazy, literally. I said, nobody's going to pay for this. And people are so blown away when they see it. They was like, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. But he really made it happen.
Yeah, I'm watching it and I'm going, okay, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this yet. I've seen things like it, but this is like Norman Lear said, it's what he couldn't do back then. It's really, you're a gift, and you're still doing your podcast, right?
Oh yeah. The Patdown with Miss Pat. I have a co-host, Chris Spangler and Dion Curry. And I love this story about us because I first brought Chris on. And at the time, Chris and Dion did not like each other. Chris is a big libertarian and Dion is a Democrat that don't vote. And they wires was twisted. So Dion would say, oh, Chris is racist. And I was like, no, he's not. And then Chris was like, Dion is crazy. So my whole thing was to bring these 2 people who had a different thought on America together and put them slap map in the middle of me, and we have conversation. And it works, Bob. It works. You know, Chris is a diehard liberal, and Dion at one point thought he was going to kill Chris, and we never leave my house with saying, you know what, I love you. I love you. Because Chris grew up in where I live at, Plainfield, Indiana, never had a black friend and know nothing about Black America. And we just started having these uncomfortable conversations, which I think America should have, and that's how we heal. And we was able to create something that people really love. And
it's on, is it once a week or do you do it every other day or something?
It comes out every Tuesday.
Got it.
But we laugh, we talk about serious stuff, but we talk about a bunch of crazy stuff too. We like to laugh.
What's your, do you go like a couple hours sometimes or you keep it to an hour?
It was supposed to be 30 minutes, but child, you get me in there talking about panty liners and Chick-fil-A and Disney. We might be 2 hours deep. I am a Disney freak.
So you know every Disney thing?
No, I love Disney. I just left the theme parks. I love going on Disney cruise.
Me too.
Disney park. I just did the VIP package. You cannot do Universal and Disney without the VIP package.
No, you have.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
It's did you go to the new Star Wars thing? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we went there. We did. We went there.
Do you like it, or is it? Or are you a Star Wars person?
No, I ain't Star Wars Epcot.
Disneyland has it as well. They got the whole
Yeah.
thing.
We didn't see. I didn't do. We skipped Epcot because we got rained out. So I didn't see Star Wars. We did Harry Potter, but we're going back next year. I already got my reservation.
How many people do you bring? Do you bring all of them?
It was family? 26 of us. It was 26 of us.
That's so great.
I don't really have a family, so I have really good friends who supported me over the years. I really taken, well, I don't have a sister. I have really good friends that I just call my sisters, and really good guy friends in my life. So I adopted damn near my whole family. So I take their family and combine it with my immediate family, my husband and kids. It was 26 of us. So I just planned out the next year, and I planned everything, T-shirts, ears, everything. It's 65 of us going next year.
Holy shit. To Epcot.
No, we're going to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Universal, and Animal Kingdom.
Oh my God. Is that like 2 weeks?
No, we're going to do 7 days.
Holy shit. That's a lot. So your feet are going to hurt.
Yeah. No, well, we got to have the VIP passes, so we'll be done by 2:00.
And then you all go out to dinner, and then do you what's your thing that relaxes you at the end of a show? Do you eat? Do you drink? Have you had habits? You don't drink. That's what I was thinking.
I don't drink or smoke. You know,
did you ever?
Mm-mm. My mama was an alcoholic, and she watched a lot of the Young and the Restless when I was growing up. And she would smoke cigarettes like a cowboy, like a man. And everybody, that's when mama was putting the tips on the cigarette, trying to be cute back in the day when you smoking the soap opera. And I was like, she do everything so manly. And I was like, I'm not going to do anything she do. So I do curse like her, but I don't drink. I don't never done drugs. That just wasn't my lane. I didn't want to do anything like those people did.
But you sold them at that time.
I did sell drugs. And it was to survive, but I did sell drugs.
Do you talk about and don't say let's not talk about it, Bob, if you'd rather not? But
no,
you went to jail, so you
went to prison. Mm-hmm.
You went to prison and you did a felony
for trafficking drugs. Yeah, at 18.
Wow. So at that point, were there other people arrested at the same time?
I had a cousin that went to jail and did some time for hiding some drugs that was mine. She went to juvenile. And but that was the hardest thing for me about that, Bob, is I missed kindergarten with my daughter. Oh. I can never get that back. And I remember talking when I got out, and I used to talk to her. She would never have a conversation with me. That's my oldest daughter. She would only write it on the paper. Why do you have to sell drugs? It's hurt people. And so she didn't understand that her mama was only 15 or 16 years old, and there was really no way other way to take care of her. And I remember her coming to me and she said, well, I want to transfer from my school because you sell drugs in front of my school. And so she wrote this down. So me being the young dummy I am, I wrote back, I was here before the drug-free school zone signs went up. So we're going to have to find you another school. I transfer her ass the next week. I said, I'm not giving up my trap for your ass.
Did she laugh?
She do now. Because she remember everything. Right. She was there when I got shot in the titty. She was there. I was in a house one night gambling, and everybody started shooting. And she just took off down the street with her brother, and we had to get in the car to go get her ass. She remember a lot of things, but at the time she didn't realize her mother was that young. Right. And then when I met my husband, when she was like in the first grade, they had such a good bond. And, I always say he saved our life and our relationship because she finally felt stable because we moved all the time. I was always fighting with her daddy. And, he gave her something that I wasn't giving her, a father figure, stability. He gave it to all of us. And that's when we all started to heal. Right.
Well, you've healed so beautifully. And look how many people you brought along and helped. And then you do it on stage. You get to give it, and you're going to do it in this show. there's a thing that's missing for me because stand-ups are very unique. And I was just saying this the other night to somebody, and I hadn't seen him in a while. Eric Griffin. Do you know Eric?
Mm-hmm.
He's a sweetheart. And I had him I was just standing next to him and I was looking through my comedy notes. I was doing this benefit for the veterans with Bill Burr. And I looked through my notes and it says Eric Griffin in the middle of my notes. And I had written his name down because somebody was telling me about him. And it was from like a year ago. And we were both like, this is fucking weird. But we're all related. I feel like there's something about comedians that breaks all barriers more than a lot of other things, I think.
I think you're right. Because no matter who you are, like I say, you probably didn't go through the struggle, but you can understand the struggle. Or you probably know somebody here who went through it. I remember when I first got the interview with Joe Rogan, it's hard to intimidate me, but I was kind of scared because they say Joe Rogan, I had read this fake blog where he had choked out a mountain lion. So I was like, this motherfucker crazy if he choked out a mountain.
You should see him in the sauna on Instagram. I think that's scarier. The cold plunge.
I could not get up the nerve to ask him on the first few tries. I think I asked him with one interview, did you really choke out that mountain lion? He fucking fell out laughing. But, which I thought I couldn't communicate with, which I thought was just way smarter than me. And I walk in, I sit down, and I feel like I'm just talking to a cousin.
Yep.
A family member. That's how he made me feel. And
you had him crying like I've never seen anybody. He laughed so hard. hard. I'm sorry. It made you realize what? It
just made me realize that we really are all connected. It's because he's from a different walk of life. He understand me as a comedian. He understand where I come from. He wasn't a closed-minded person, which I didn't know what to expect the first time. Everybody, Joe Rogan. I'm like, the fear factor, man. And then I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him and I'm running my mouth. I just feel like I'm talking to a good friend, a relative or something. So we are all kind of connected.
Yeah. So you're 28 or whatever age, you start doing stand-up. When did it catch for you? When did you start? How did you get booked? They saw that you were a headliner right away? Because I can't see you opening for a long time because you're such a force.
Well, I did. I opened for Cat. I opened for Arnaz J. I opened for D. Ray Davis. I ended up getting a manager and Rowood Jr. I'm quite sure you know Rowood Jr.
Yep.
He helped me out a lot. He helped me get a manager, and that manager started to help me do things. And just so happened the podcast worlds were taking off. Mark Maron was like, everybody wanted to be on Mark Maron or Joe Rogan. Those are the two biggest podcasts. And I couldn't book neither one because nobody knew who I was. So Ari Shaffir, I started doing a bunch of small ones and worked my way up through Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, Ari Shaffir, and I ended up doing Ari Shaffir's show, This Is Not Happening, for Comedy Central. And I remember them saying, Miss Pat, we just gonna put you online so you won't be able to be on the TV version. And I was so mad, Bob. And I said, you motherfuckers gonna put me on this TV show. And so, but I didn't say that out loud. I said, oh, it's okay. And Ari's like, but the internet lasts forever. I said, bitch, this TV show gonna last forever too. That's what I'm saying to myself. Yeah. And just so happening that day, I did Mark Maron and I taped with Joe Rogan. I don't know how the fuck it happened. We all taped together and I was able to get on both of those podcasts. And after I did Mark Maron's and Joe, after I did Mark Maron, I had 7 studio visits to create a sitcom. Yeah. And then the book came along and I was like, is this shit real? Y'all really gonna pay me for this shit? I can talk shit anyway. And I just started to tell stories and Fox hooked it. Fox gave me a deal. What was so great about Fox, the thing was dropped 3 times and they picked it up every time. So I had 3 deals over at Fox. And I know I'm blessed and lucky because a lot of people don't get that many chances with the same project.
Yeah. Well, this project is so organic. You can't say no to this project. And I guess being on Mark and Joe lets people see who you are. And that's what explodes through if you're listening or if you're watching, it blows up because I mean, you're undeniable. So they have to pick. This show ain't going nowhere. This show's, you better love it because it's going to keep going.
Thank you.
It's going to be great. It's really, I hope they pick it up for more, but streamers, they love the 10 number. But
yeah, I'm BT. If you can hear this interview, we need 20 so I can go tour while you show these 20 episodes. Okay.
I think 20 is a good number for you because that's traditional sitcom. And once you get moving, they might do it they could do the double year release. They could do the 20 and then they might try to call it a second season, but they'll do season. They would call it a second season is what they would do. Well, good. Then you'll get to renegotiation quicker. So you just started, like, what was your favorite? Do you have any stand-up gigs that like stand out as a definable moment that you went, holy shit, this is the best, one of the best things that ever happened?
I tell you, when I went to when Cat Williams called me, and I was a fan of Cat Williams, but I really wasn't a fan that bought tickets. I just like who he was, and I watched him stand up on TV. And he called and he booked me to go on tour with him, and I was like, okay, he smoked weed. I don't know his audience really. I just think he's funny. Right. And I never forget, the first night I was booked with him. I walk out there, and I'm on stage. It's like 50,000 people, and it probably was 80% white people like Cat Williams.
Yeah.
And I remember standing on that stage, and this is what I said to the energy from all those people. We was at the KFC Center, and I was like, this is what I want. Mm-hmm. And I never forgot how that feel. And I'm hoping one day with my stand-up, I can feel that same energy I felt the day I opened for Cat Williams for them 15 minutes. The energy, I mean, it was electrifying.
I guarantee it will. I guarantee you will. I'm 100% positive. You're going to be doing the Garden. You're going to be doing that center, KFC. You're going to be doing, I mean, you just do what you're doing. It all happened organically. It just happened. There ain't a lot of you out there. You're needed. You're so fucking funny. To be able to tell tragedy with a smile on your face, I almost don't need a joke. The joke is that your storytelling is so hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to be happy. I want people to know, like I said earlier, it's find the darkest shit and laugh at it. I mean, you got control of it. I think every day of some of the most fucked up things that ever happened to me. And if I can turn it funny, I would turn it funny. And I was just thinking, my mama boyfriend molested me a lot when I was a kid.
And that's hard to find humor. That is.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, I'm making this bit. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of it. And, I go and I visit my mama's grave one day, and I look over, and this fucker buried himself next to my mama. And I'm like, well, damn, you really don't want me to tell on you, don't you?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That's a true story. This fucker is buried next to my mama. I guess he is in the ground. Don't listen to shit they said, Mildred. They telling lies on me. He was determined not to be known as a child molester. That he bought the grave next to my fucking mama. And he would be there for the rest of his life. And I ain't going to see damn one of their ass no more.
No. And then sometimes when cemeteries find out family members are there, they come after you to buy some real estate. And you just tell them to put a couple X's on either side of those two graves.
You know what? My father's buried in Indiana. I'm going to go and dig him up and bury him right next to them so they can have a good old conversation. Because my daddy told me don't leave him in Indianapolis. I said, why you don't want to be buried in there? It's too fucking cold up here. I'm like, you're not going to feel it, right?
It's so funny that people think when they're dead in the ground that they're still going on.
Yeah, I mean, I be telling my kids, don't bury me, put me in one of them mausoleums things. I'm claustrophobic. I don't want to be there for a bunch. Right. I want to see what the fuck is going on out here. I
want to be shot out of a cannon.
Really?
I don't know where. Maybe I don't know what. I guess I'll be buried. I don't think about it. I'm 65. That's the last thing I'm thinking about. I got so much living to do.
That's right. That's what I was telling my kids the other day. I said, I'm 49. I got a lot of shit to do. I'm going to buy this. I'm going on vacation. I'm going to enjoy my life, and I'm going to say with your face, fuck y'all children.
You're absolutely right. You know what? It's so funny. Some people go, "Whoa, he's showing off and stuff." Just watch Kevin Hart's Instagram. It's like that is if that's how you can roll and that's what you do, and you work so hard, you vacation hard, you enjoy your time away, you enjoy your family, you enjoy your work, and then he's got 400 shows. You know, do you have that? Do you want to do a whole thing where you got a whole production studio type of thing, or are you just taking it a day at a time?
I do. I really do. I don't like to follow. So I would love to be put in movies and stuff, but I'm such a creative type person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to create my own shit. I want to leave a real legacy. It's not about a bunch of items, things that I was handed. I want you to say, Miss Pat created this. Miss Pat created the Miss Pat show. Miss Pat wrote this movie. Miss Pat did this. You know, that's what I want. You know, I also want people to put me in shit, but I also want to create a whole. As a creator like yourself, do you ever just wake up in the middle of the night? Oh my God, I need to write this down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it all every day. I'm doing it all day and all night. It goes in. It doesn't stop. The mind don't stop.
It doesn't stop. And you know, like I'm working with 3 and 4 big producers and, you know, just creators now. Mm-hmm. And they starting to call because I wake up in the middle of the night and I call my manager. I said, I got this idea for this movie. And they was like, I can't say what I just did, but I woke up one day and I said, I ever told y'all I did this? And they was like, we can sell that. I said, stop lying. And we sold it.
Congrats.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I thought y'all were bullshitting. So time I wake up and I just say, hey, can y'all sell this idea right there? They was like, I think you own something, Miss Pat. I told them, I said, they would sell shit if I would bring it to them on a platter.
Wait till the show comes out. But they've all seen the pilot too. That's what's going on too. Is that seem to be all in synchronicity with that? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to write a movie with your daughter?
I do. Actually, we're working on something now. We had the same thought one day, and I was like, I think I got something. And we started talking, and we're working on something now.
That's the one. I'm not saying it's the one, but I'm saying that's going to be real special. Real special.
Yeah. And my other daughter, she did the makeup on my show. So it was fun to see how many people was employed by the Miss Pat show. That's what was really touching to me. You know, not about who's first on the call sheet or my name all around the building, to look around and see all of these people who's making it happen for the Miss Pat show. Just a little girl from the West End of Atlanta, you know, and I'm back here shooting a sitcom. It was really touching for me. That was touching for me.
I hate to say this. I know you're married. I'm married, but I've fallen in love with you.
Thank you. And I've been in love with you.
Oh.
When you were such a clean daddy on the show, and when you started touring and you was dirty, I was like, oh, he cursed. Fuck yeah. I was so happy because you look so clean cut on the show.
I am. I'm both. I'm both. I'm at home now. Look at me. I got a dust rag to clean my glasses. So I have, and I like to hug. So I'm like, well, COVID's not a good time to like to hug, but you know, I got that. I'm an actor, so I'm able to do those things. But I
appreciate that. You see, that stand up was real. I appreciate.
Oh,
that.
It's real.
I know.
I went through some fucked up times. I went through some times where I should have kept my mouth shut, you know. Now I would not say some of that shit, but I'm honored you wanted to do this podcast. Thank you.
I'm honored that you asked me, Bob. Anytime.
How about tomorrow?
I ain't doing shit tomorrow.
Did you ever want to live in LA or New York, or do you love your life where it is?
Nah, I never wanted to live in LA or New York. First of all, we eat too much to live in LA. You're not gonna make us spring chickens, okay?
What kept you from moving to LA? We eat too much.
Yeah.
We have food here.
Yeah, lettuce, tomatoes, and vitamins, and track and field. Nah. In Indianapolis, I'm a 9. In Atlanta, I'm a 7.5. Okay. Well, I used to be an 8 till all these fake ass booties came along, and everybody got a drumstick ass. Now I'm a 7.5. But
and I was listening to the Joe Rogan thing about the implants in people's asses and stuff. I mean, why do people need that?
I don't know why people need big asses. I've had big asses my whole life. Like I told Joe, we just put fucking Crisco oil or grease the butter on our ass. But I don't know why people do the shit they do. Everybody want to be beautiful, but everybody want to look just alike, Bob. Whatever happened to the good old woman with the stretch mark or with the sack on top of her vagina that you had to fold back like a sardine can to get? They don't want us no more.
Is that pardon my grammar, but is that fupa? Is that what that is?
I guess it's fupa.
I don't know what that don't sound nice. When it comes out of me, it doesn't sound good.
Well, everybody everybody want their 3rd grade bodies. So, or their 8th grade bodies. I've had titties since the 3rd grade, but nobody wants to have stretch marks anymore. I guess plastic surgery have come affordable. Even Black women are getting implants in their lips. I'm like, guys, we was born with lips. Why you making them bigger? But they do.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I would have gotten a penis extension, but then I wouldn't have been able to do this podcast because I've been so far from my desk.
I don't think so.
Well, you have some funny dick jokes in the pilot. Holy shit, I can't wait to see this whole season. I just can't congratulate you enough. You did what took 5 years, and you got the top level people that exist. I mean, Lee Daniels and Debbie Allen directing, and Brian Grazer, and so many.
Ron Howard is his company. Ron Howard Imagine.
Yeah, is Ron part of the reading of all the scripts and everything?
No, I'm quite sure they report back to him. I met him a couple of times. Such a nice guy.
Sweetheart.
But mostly Brian Grazer.
He's hilarious and he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy for you, and I'm looking forward to meeting you.
I'm looking forward to meeting you too.
It's going to be fun. And I know we know a lot of the same people, so who knows? If you ever want a fourth on your podcast, give me a holler.
I will. I promise.
Do you bring guests in, or is it usually just the 3 of you going at it?
Well, usually just at 3, but we're starting to. We started to do talk to people and stuff. Only one we had was Howie Mandel.
Right.
So funny.
Oh, he's
so
a sweetheart. He was a prophet. He knew about cleanliness before any of this shit happened.
He sure did.
Yeah.
But just Howie Mandel so far. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna call you up to do it since I've done yours.
I would love it. And Howie's a dear friend, so I'd be like him, but probably a little less Jewish. I was persecuted as a Jewish kid. That was my thing. I lived in Norfolk, Virginia, and people were. I had my own taste of what racism feels like, but no one knows what it's like to be in another person's skin. You just don't. No.
That's why you need to be nice to everybody.
I think that's what we're supposed to do. Be safe traveling and lots of good health and success. And again, BET Plus, the Ms. Pat Show. I cannot wait. I'll do my showbiz finagling and get the whole season.
Thank you.
I'm in love. I'm in love with this show. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're amazing. Me too. Have a great day.
You too, baby. Thank you.
That's Ms. Pat. And I don't know. I fell in love with her. But she says she's always been in love with me. I'll take it. She's got so much stuff you want to catch up on. And it's not like she's discovered overnight. This is a woman who's got life history, and she is an incredibly funny stand-up and just really special. And this show that comes out just in a few days, which is August 12th on BET Plus streaming, you have to see this show. I'm going to watch every episode. It does say certified grown-ass comedy, which is hilarious to me. That's the rating of this podcast as well, although it might be too late to tell people that listen now. But it's a very special show. August 12th, streaming exclusively on BET. And you got to listen to the Patdown podcast, which comes out every Tuesday. And she's got her book, which I think you want to get it. It's Rabbit. It's easy to get it. It's everywhere. And it's the winner, of course, of the NAACP Award for Outstanding Literary Work. And it tells you of her life and her history. And go to MsPatComedy.com. That's MSPAT comedy.com. And you can catch her tour and see her live, because she is one special person and funny as shit. So that's another episode of this one of Bob Saget's Here For You. And I'm sending you guys a lot of good health stuff right now. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. If you believe in vaccinating, if you don't, get vaccinated anyway. Maybe somebody that you love, that'd be a good time to use a roofie that won't vaccinate. Just knock them out and just inject them. And they'll go, why do I have this cold today? Then go, oh, it'll be gone tomorrow. That's a joke. So I don't want to get that shit started, but I'm a vaccine kind of guy. I love it. Oh, it's Visine. I'm sorry. It's when my eyes aren't clear. I'm an anti-Visiner. I want my eyes to be bloodshot. Anyway, you guys be safe. You can rate, review, subscribe, leave comments, all that stuff. And you can also follow it if that's how you're listening to it. Or you can go to the YouTube page, which has no followers, but you can see the video. Who doesn't want to watch a 2-shot on Zoom? You just go to youtube.com/Bob Saget. Sending you guys love, because what the hell? Why not? The world's upside down. Let's try to straighten it out a little bit. So I'm sending you lots of love and lots of good health. All right. Talk to you next time.